But without getting too tangled up, too deep into the weeds, we can make the case that Madrid are playing as well as they ever have under Zidane at the moment. And that's remarkable given that the injuries mean they're doing it with less talent than in previous seasons. There's one Cruyff quote that really stands out when I think of Zidane's Madrid, and that is, playing football is very simple, but playing simple football is the hardest thing there is. And in my mind, Zidane, the tactician, has been simply brilliant.
The confidence that a player needs doesn't only come from himself, but also from the players around him and the coach. You need to feel like you are an important part of the group, and Zidane made me feel special. He helped me a lot. I already had a lot of respect for him, but working with him made me admire him more. That's because of what he is like as a person, how he talks, how he led the team, and how he treated me. These days, in a quicker and much more digital-based world, the image of people who are involved in football, such as players, managers, agents, presidents, owners, etc., is marked a lot by what is said in the media, thus delivering many different narratives that a lot of people believe and that are usually not true. In that regard, we find premises such as Timo Werner is a bad finisher, that Jose Mourinho is a tyrant in the locker room, that Neymar only knows how to do tricks, that Florentino Perez is an elitist who wants to end European football, amongst many other false narratives. Then we get Zinedine Zidane, one of the best players of all time, European and world champion with the French national team, and winner of many trophies and accolades with Real Madrid, arguably the biggest club in the world. However, the average football fan does not give him the recognition he deserves for his managerial achievements, which is quite different to the likes of Pep Guardiola or Jurgen Klopp, who are consistently celebrated for having similar achievements to the Frenchman. As the manager of Real Madrid, Zidane has won the La Liga on 2 occasions, 2016 to 2017 and 2019 to 2020. The Spanish Super Cup on 2 occasions, 2019 and 2020. 2 UEFA Super Cups, 2016 and 2017. 2 FIFA Club World Cups, 2016 and 2017. And 3 Champions Leagues, 2015 to 2016, 2016 to 2017 and 2017 to 2018 in just 5 seasons. An incredible achievement that nobody, maybe even Zidane himself, was not expecting. In addition, he was Carlo Ancelotti's assistant during the 2013 to 2014 season, where he won a Copa del Rey and a Champions League, now known as the famous Decima. Not bad at all considering how short his managerial career is and how his first job in senior football was the Real Madrid gig, with all the pressure and demands that entails. But despite all the trophies he won, the Frenchman is still seen as just a lucky man. His efforts have not been recognised and compared to other managers, and with a lot of claims that he has just been fortunate because he has been able to coach some of the best players of the last decade, such as Cristiano Ronaldo, Luka Modric, Karim Benzema, Toni Kroos, Sergio Ramos, and many others. We are going to delve into Zinedine Zidane's traits as a manager and determine if his success has been a matter of being at the right place at the right time, or if his success is actually through hard work and intelligence. The time he spent as Carlo Ancelotti's assistant at Real Madrid certainly helps Zizou to learn many different things about the Italian, especially when it comes to how to manage a locker room with so many stars. It is worth pointing out that Ancelotti is an expert on this subject after his long experience in top clubs such as Juventus, AC Milan, Chelsea, Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain, and particularly at Real Madrid. The Italian was dubbed the peacemaker as he arrived to calm things down in the locker room that was on fire after Mourinho's last season with Los Blancos. Zidane adopted many of those traits to maintain a good atmosphere in the team that allowed him to have a better handle of the internal and external issues that usually arise in a club of this magnitude. In addition, his handling of the press and the way he supports his players in public is helpful, as he avoids a lot of unnecessary controversies and shows he has his players back. Another thing that has helped him is that he's always stayed close to the club after his retirement as a professional football player, maintaining a good relationship with the people in charge and several of the key players, such as Sergio Ramos, who was actually his teammate in his last professional season, Marcelo, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Benzema. This has certainly helped him when it comes to the dressing room, because he is not viewed as just another manager, and his legacy as one of the best players of all time certainly doesn't hurt either. Maybe Zidane is underestimated as a manager due to this approach to man management. He is often perceived, and in a condescending manner, as just a player's friend, and that he has no real tactics or philosophy. The reality is that managing a group of 25 or 30 different personalities is very demanding in any leadership role. Now imagine that in a club like Real Madrid and the players they have. Keeping a group like that happy and focused is very difficult, and Zidane has succeeded in that regard in spades. His players have always turned up for him, and by large, they have rewarded his trust and managerial style with a lot of success. In terms of man management, Zidane is probably second to none in modern football. After all, he was a world-class player himself, and he knows how they feel in these big games and the pressure that involves being a Real Madrid player. And that experience has also helped him greatly in his career as a manager. The Frenchman's football philosophy might not be as fascinating and influential as Guardiola's or Klopp's, but it's just as clear: play attacking football and play to win. Sounds generic, but Zidane has understood that you have to keep it simple, and that has proven to work for him, although he has surprised more than a few times over the years, showcasing how tactically flexible his teams can be when called upon. Having a squad with so many international players of the highest possible caliber has also allowed him to have better resources in terms of how to deal with different challenges on the pitch, and in return, he has always maintained a calm and positive atmosphere in the squad, which allows him to overcome difficult situations in an effective manner. The confidence that the Frenchman gives to many of his players, especially when they are not in a good moment, has allowed him to revive some players who have seemed like they could leave the club, such as Casemiro. He was on the fringes when the Frenchman arrived, or even Vinicius Jr. in recent years, who has been constantly criticised for his lack of end product, and the Brazilian has rewarded his manager's trust in recent months, with his display against Liverpool in the Champions League being a great example of that. On the other hand, something that has helped Zidane win several titles in the same season has been the way he has rotated his squad, which was key in the Frenchman's strategy to minimise the load of matches amongst his players. He was highly praised in the 2016-17 season when Real Madrid won La Liga, the UEFA Super Cup, the FIFA Club World Cup and the Champions League, for making the most of his squad, especially at the end of the season, by having a Team A that played Champions League and having a Team B that played in the Liga, thus keeping a good balance for key moments in both competitions. On a tactical level, an aspect in which he is looked down upon, Zidane has showed a lot of flexibility, not limiting himself to a single tactical system and switching styles from one game to another without much problem, or even during the same game when it was necessary to do so. He is not dogmatic, and he has proven that he has no reason to be like that. When he began his career as a manager of Real Madrid back in January of 2016, the Frenchman was mostly using the 4-3-3 formation, with a back four consisting of Dani Carvajal, Sergio Ramos, Rafael Varane, and Marcelo. In that season, Zidane ended up completing the transition from Pepe, who was starting centre-back next to Ramos, for many years since the Mourinho days, to Varane. He was touted as the club's next great centre-back for a long time. He would also start a midfield that, at this point of the game, is already legendary, with Casemiro, Luka Modric and Toni Kroos. The Brazilian had more of a defensive approach, focused in covering the fullbacks that consistently bombed forward and neutralising the opponent's attacks when called upon. Modric and Kroos were players with characteristics of attacking midfielders, but playing box-to-box midfielders and central midfielders respectively, focusing a lot more on distribution, quality possession of the ball, and controlling the tempo, which would prove to be instrumental for the team's success throughout the years. In attack, the expected starting 11 regulars was the BBC, Benzema, Bale and Cristiano Ronaldo. However, a Bale injury that coincided with the arrival of Zidane to the Real Madrid dugout gave Isco much more prominence and made the 4-3-3 change at times to a 4-3-1-2 due to the tendency of the Spaniard to centralise. Benzema would drop deeper and combine with the midfield, and Ronaldo would make runs to finish as a striker. It became a staple of Zidane's first tenure as Real Madrid manager. In his second season as manager of the club, he tried new tactical systems, in part due to injuries, the departure of some of the players, and the tight schedule as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. We have seen formations that go from the usual 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 to 4-4-2, 3-5-2 or 3-4-3, improvising some players like Lucas Vazquez, a winger, as a fullback or wingback, or Federico Valverde as a central midfielder or right midfielder. Possibly the best tactical innovation of the Frenchman has been the positioning and movements of Casemiro, who has gone from being a classic defensive midfielder to a midfielder that covers the entire central lane of the pitch, fulfilling his defensive functions and at the same time being an important weapon in attack, mainly in the aerial game, both in set pieces and plays with the ball in motion. The amount of important goals he has scored for Real Madrid in both Zidane's tenures has become an element of the Spanish side in recent years. Consistency, a quality squad and not overthinking things. Zidane has always known this squad's quality. He has already worked with the majority of them as Ancelotti's assistant during the year they won the Champions League in 2014, so he has seen them going through different challenges in this competition and knew what made them tick as individual players and as a squad, which would become essential to his time as a manager. You don't need to reinvent the wheel when you are coaching Cristiano Ronaldo, Luka Modric, Toni Kroos, Gareth Bale, Sergio Ramos, and Danny Carvajal. You provide them with calmness, confidence, and support so they feel important, motivated, and ready when the time comes. A lot of key moments during Zidane's Champions League three-peat were extremely high-pressure situations, and they came through because they were a team, working together as a unit, and with a lot of individuals motivated by a manager that knows what it's like to play in a big Champions League game and knows what it means to be important in those circumstances. These were all world-class players entering their prime years and who already experienced winning this competition with a specific tactical setup. So Zidane followed that through, knowing that his squad was more important than his own ego. They were a team of winners led by an even greater winner. If anything, his success with these 3 Champions League titles is a masterclass in man management in a day and age that is obsessed with tactics and where a lot of players are treated as pieces of the puzzle rather than actual talented individuals. It is difficult to speak of luck in the case of a manager who has won at least 1 title in each season of his Real Madrid tenure. Zidane has overachieved since taking over. Any manager who has won multiple trophies in his career must have a talent for coaching, and the only aspect that can be said of Zidane's luck is the fact that he began his career as a manager in the first tier of European football at a club like Real Madrid, with top players such as Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema, and Sergio Ramos, just to name a few. But he has proven that he was deserving of that position, and then some. As already mentioned in this article, managing a star-studded team in the dressing room is not easy, and at Real Madrid we have examples of how things did not go as planned. First, we have Rafa Benitez, an experienced manager of clubs such as Liverpool, Inter Milan and Chelsea, who started the 2015-16 season as a manager of Los Blancos and would only last 6 months in office. That same team with which Benitez could not achieve good results would be champions of the UEFA Champions League under the orders of Zidane that very season. Then we have the case of Julian Lopetegui, a Spanish manager with considerably more experience than Zidane, but who lasted less than half a season at Real Madrid. 2 clear examples that it is not easy to be the manager of a team at this level. And while what the Frenchman does may seem simple from the outside, but is actually something complex and requires a lot of skill to execute and achieve the success he has achieved. Narratives can say whatever they want, but reality lies in facts, and the success that Zidane has achieved throughout the years, through several seasons, shows that he has done something right as a manager, and that the trophies that he has won is evidence that showcases that he is in fact a great manager. A lot of managers have failed in big clubs, and he has succeeded in his first professional experience in a senior club, which goes to show how gifted he is for this profession. He may not be of everyone's liking, he may not fit some people's criteria of what a great manager is, and you know what? That's perfectly fine. We all have different tastes when it comes to football, and you don't have to like Zidane as a manager to understand that he's actually really good at it. He may not have a signature style of play like other great modern era managers, but his achievements compare with any legendary manager, and it is these reasons why he has earned his respect as a manager in the footballing world. This is Football Forever. Thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, please like and subscribe as it helps my channel to grow. I have more and more videos on the way for all the fans of football.